I hope that followers of Gussie and Grimm will show up on this new take two. Hope. Just positive energy flow. As you enter this space, have a seat. Just let the positive energy flow. Let it flow slowly. There's no need to rush. So stop shaking your foot or shaking your leg. Just take a couple of just good, deep breaths. Shake out some of that stress from the day. Shake it out because it is definitely, the last 2 days have been definitely intense, that's for sure. Oh, look.
No, that's not.
Oh, but the camera is working. Hey, and I'm going to need a charger for this phone.
Okay.
Anyways, sorry about that. I hope you're here. Hello again. Someone let Susan know that we're live. I should have texted her before I jumped on here, but I didn't want to waste any more time. My phone is about to die, and it says I have a slow connection, but we're going to keep trying anyways. We don't exactly know what happened because our microphone and camera were working just fine. And even though they both of the lights are lit up, that would indicate that it's working. On our end, when we go live on Facebook, at least through that, it's completely dark. So, but if you lose me during this conversation, that's Grimm clicking around on the screen. If you lose me during this conversation, it's simply because my phone died. No booga booga involved. None whatsoever. So, I mean, really, I believe in magic completely, but it's not the answer to everything that happens. I am fully aware that there are I do believe, even natural occurrences are magic, so don't get me started. But, hello, for the second time on 420 Tea and Tarot. I'm here. Grimm is over here. Right, Grimm? And we just thought we'd try it on my phone. I haven't done a live stream on my phone for a minute. But here we are. And I'm testing out this little plastic little light thing that somebody brought to a wedding a while back. Grimm and I use real candles most of the time. But look at this little sucker. I know it's not new to anybody, right? But I think it's kind of cool that it blinks. This certainly will solve some problems around the old church, let me tell you. For those of you that know, our old church the fireplace caught a flame a few months ago, and that was unexpected. But it's been a blessing in disguise because we've been able to replace some of the paint and floral arrangements, and because there were soaked flowers up there, and bought a new rug, and so just freshened it up a bit. So anyways, Grimmer, get off of my cards here, baby. What are you doing? Leaning on my tarot cards. Shame. Oh my gosh. So as I was mentioning, it's been a crazy couple of days energetically. I know so many folks are exhausted, and it felt like if something was going to be a little bit off, yesterday was the day. Today feels somewhat similar to that. The weather can't decide if it's raining or not raining, at least here in Michigan where we are. And so it's been really weird. It's been a weird liminal. It feels like a liminal space right now out in the world. And so I'm glad we're here withstanding together, because I look forward to seeing you all. And it's good to be together. It's good to share our energy. So I'm shuffling my cards, but as you enter the space, just find a comfortable spot to sit down and just sigh out some of the woes of the day. I know we all have them. I mean, we're empaths, right? So it's like, not only do we have the normal, if you will, feelings throughout the day that a human would, but we also feel amplified in certain areas because we feel, sense, experience what other people feel at times. And so it's especially important to take some time out during your day and just like I do, I let go the woe, just when I do that, I try to let everything just sort of, shouldn't be holding my tarot cards while I say this, just empty out through my fingertips. Just, I uncross my feet. I make sure my feet are on the ground. I, just relax as much as I can. If I need to, because like right now I'm feeling like I really can't relax my shoulders. I carry a lot of my stress in that area. So like, tighten everything up at once if you can and let it go. If you can't do that, do a section of your body at a time. Start with your feet and move up or whatever. But the area that needs to be released, tighten, release. We can't all go to a massage therapist. Not everybody is lucky like me, has a partner that takes good care of her shoulders. But do that for yourself right now. It's been a minute, and there's been a lot going on, and I know you're taking a lot in right now, even though time seems to be flowing a little differently. Have you noticed? I don't know if you've noticed, but I'll bet many of you have. It just seems to be a little different, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but it was sort of like back in 2020, right before COVID hit. I know Dizzied Up will often remind me of the day I went live and I said, I don't know why, but it feels like something's coming and we just got to stick together. And that was back then, and then COVID hit, and then it was very clear what that was all about. Well, it feels like we're kind of coming into one of those cycles again, only this time I don't feel like it has to be this disastrous, worldwide pandemic scare that we did all experience together. Part of me knows that millions of people died, from the COVID virus. And I don't really want to get into that conversation, but I also know that the world leaders were able to assess how each country responded to a worldwide lockdown. And I don't know where I'm going with that. That sounds like something Grimm would talk about, which he's right here, but I don't feel like there's another lockdown coming. I don't. Not like it was before. But I do certainly feel a shift. And I know that right now a lot of folks are kind of sorting out in their life who is, going to be moving forward with us and who is not. And I don't mean that you're, dismissing folks out of your life, because nobody wants that. But I also know that there are many of us that have stopped feeling responsible for everyone else's spiritual progress. So we're moving on, you're moving on, we're moving forward, and this is a time of manifestation. It's a time to believe and build what you can create and see as your perfect world. It might not be like perfect down to every detail, but you have an overall general idea of what the idyllic, bucolic setting for you would be, and even though your logical mind might say, oh no, we're stuck here in the city for at least 5 more years, you don't need to really worry about that. That's not about manifesting. Your logical brain has plenty of time to do its thinking and overthinking, and it does, no worries. But when you're in this liminal space and we're having this conversation, try to just tuck that logical side away for a minute and imagine that life that you envision outside of where you are right now. Allow yourself, even if you're only allowed to do it for a brief second, if you're only able to hold that attention for a second, what will it look like? Where are you? Can you describe it? Are there trees? Are there sounds? Do you see colors? What is it that you're experiencing? You're more than welcome to share those thoughts in the comments, or you can keep them to yourself or share them in a message later if you choose to. But a lot of us have gotten away from, what's next. And it's important to remember our idea here of heaven on earth. It's important to remember what our idea of heaven on earth is, because it's a beautiful planet. It's a beautiful, oh, Grimmer's he's giving me the signal that he's gonna interrupt me. Okay. So I don't get all bonkers and angry at him because he just, that was easy, wasn't it? I might not remember what I was talking about a second ago, but
Oh boy, I'm trying to.
keeping away from that ceiling needs painted up there.
Yeah.
The paint is falling off the tin. Somebody painted the tin. Sad.
It's going to be kind of precarious. the phone charger made it a little difficult.
Okay, so we got the phone charger issue here. Let's move this out. There. If the phone drops and you get a boob shot, I apologize in advance. Because it's precariously perched right now. Okay, so anyway, I don't remember what we were talking about.
It's time to pull a card anyway.
It's time to pull a card. Well, I do know that it was an important message, though.
Yes.
I do know.
Tied into Wild Card Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Grim just reminded me. It's Wild Card Wednesday, so we're going to pull at least 2 cards, right?
One for the group and then...
One extra. One for the road. One for the group and one for the road. It is Wednesday, June 5th. This is 420-ish Tea and Tarot with Gussie and Grim. Got a little bit of a late start. Wasn't able to use the computer microphone and camera today. But that's okay. We're on my phone, and I've been shuffling away at this little Dark Mansion Tarot deck for a while. So let's pull a card. I keep waiting for one to jump out that's just not happening. So that's all right. Let's do it this way. See, I don't have a spot. You pick one, Grim.
I pick one.
Which one should he pick? Ah! Pick one. Infuse your energy.
You barely let me touch the deck.
I barely let him touch the deck.
All right,
What?
I'm just
That
gonna
has
grab-
more meaning than you know. Okay. You pulled a card? Perfect. Let's see which one it is. And we pulled it in good humor, too.
I had to be quick, though.
I know. Okay. 4 of Swords. Oh. Yes, I would say this card is descriptive of how many of us are kind of feeling right now. Let me just show you the card. Remember, yes, it's good to know the basic meaning of the tarot, but more important, it's to interpret and intuit when you're sitting in front of the person that you're reading for. It's important to keep that energy flowing, and so using your intuition with the card is equally important. I don't care who you are. Okay, here's the picture. Ready? There's the card. 4 of Swords. Dark Mansion Tarot. Can't find the sweet spot, but I think you kind of get the idea here. Been doing this for like 3 or 4 years, and I still never know where to put the card. Isn't that funny? It's like when I think about that. Yeah, the camera moves. Yeah, that's what it is. Anyways, there we are. The 4 of Swords. This card speaks volumes to me about where we're all at right now. we're not like so defeated that we don't feel a glimmer of hope. And we also feel, I don't know, well, maybe you don't, but I know Grim and I feel a lot of blessings in our life right now as well. It's like, yes, we could let ourselves get kind of caught up in the mire, if you will, in the milieu of you know, it's kind of like one thing after another. I know a lot of you know that one. But in spite of that, it's like we're moving forward and we're taking positive steps. And I think what we're both learning most of all is that the journey isn't controlled by me. And the journey isn't necessarily controlled by Grim. It's controlled by this universal flow that we connect into. And when one of us is off, we really, really struggle. We really, truly do. But this Four of Swords card... Oh, please. You might have to speak up.
You say that we're in this flow. I still think that the basic flow of the river is still a culmination of every decision, interaction that I've ever had or made in my life leading up to this point.
Right. But I think that the universe opens pathways. Sometimes those pathways are ridden with rocks, bumpy rocks, and you know, you're still going down the stream, but you're bouncing off rocks. So sometimes we're just in that kind of a flow. I don't know if you're feeling that way, like yes, there's a part of you that if you really allowed yourself to, you could get kind of down, but yet you're able to keep your chin up enough that you're keeping yourself, you know, out of that doldrum state. It's real important. And by the way, take a couple of deep breaths. Take a couple of good deep breaths just to remind yourself you are alive and you are not carrying the burdens of the world. You are envisioning what your heaven on earth is. That's your homework for the next couple days. I want you to envision what your heaven on earth is. Honey, watch out, you're pulling this. My very precarious stand involves that.
Figures it was me.
Oh, Grimmer. Anywho, yes, the Four of Swords. So take some time over the next couple of days. You know, our goal is to be live at 4:20 on Friday again. So, you know, we'll hopefully check in. Somebody probably will have to remind me. But let's check back in on what it is that you're envisioning for yourself. I see that some of you have written some things out here. Let's just see again what some of you had to say.
I got them up here.
Oh, good, Grim. Can you read them? That would be easier, I think.
Well, we've got JB saying hi, Victoria Williams saying hi, as well as Christy Reed. And Deb Kirkland. Hope everybody's doing fine, she says. Jane Husky says hello. Shannon Eschers, hi everyone. Angela Turley, hello. And then JB says, I think the veil that's said to be lifting or lifted is the blindfold we had as a whole about the way energy works and the fact that manifesting is real, so we can see how to navigate now. The evil is still out there and we still see it, but we don't have to experience it personally.
It's about perspective, which is what we've been talking about for years now. Shifting our perspective. That's what moving from a 3D perspective to a 4D perspective to a 5D perspective. It is not just, I can't even say it. We just talked about this the other day, how when you're living in the 3D realm, you cannot see what is in the 5D.
You can see the 2D.
You can see the 2D, but you can't see the 5D. But once you get to 5D, you can see the other Ds below. And it's not really above below, but it is. I do it in layers like that because it is like the more the veil is lifted from your eyes, the more you're able to see with each perspective shift that you experience.
That veil isn't something that's physical, though. It's an energetic vibration that separates us from the other side of it in such a way that we can't experience it. Now, as we move forward in our spirituality and we start...
Well, some of us can.
Some of us can. As we move forward in our spirituality and we start to embrace that choose happy, stay magical, withstanding type mentality, we align ourselves with the frequency of that veil in such a way that we can now start to see through it. It's not that it's lifting or thinning. It's we are harmonizing.
It's absolutely true. That's a beautiful way to put it. That's really what's happening. We just have two different ways of painting that same picture, but yours is very logical, and I love it as well, because that is exactly what's happening. Like I said, it isn't a level that you like achieve like on a video game, but it is kind of like
in a way,
a video.
But it's interesting because whereas some people are opening up and they're harmonizing and starting to see, let's say, shadow people, other people are harmonizing and starting to see something totally different.
Or they're experiencing love on
exactly.
a level that they haven't experienced it before.
Right. So it's not a matter of ascension through a hierarchy of levels. It's just an ascension through differing vibration.
Different perspective.
Different perspective.
And how do you shift your perspective, you ask? Well, you do shadow work. You don't shy away from tears. As a matter of fact, there's an actress, I won't say her name, but she is about our age. She's a little bit younger than me, and she was on a very popular television series in the 80s, and quite a beautiful person, but she's not well now. And of course that describes a lot of folks in their 50s.
She has not aged well.
She's not, yeah, she's still beautiful, but her body is not treating her well. So she's given up a lot of hope. And one of the quotes that I had read that she said was, she, really should have gone to some type of therapy, but she's been afraid to let the tears flow. And I thought, oh, I wish that she would join the Purple Door, because, I really feel like we do a lot of good for one another, being there when one of us needs a listening ear, learning to lean on one another, and, we are doing our hashtag withstanding, hello Pamela Fox, good to see you again. I'm glad you found us. We decided to go live on my phone because this other camera situation is baffling us, but that's neither here nor there. I did shuffle this deck really well, and Grim pulled the card earlier, and then when I shuffled it again, I picked up the deck and one card remained behind, so I figured that's the one we're supposed to turn over.
That's the wild card.
For a wild card. Do you want to do the honors?
No.
Are you sure?
I like doing the follow-up right now.
Okay, so this is for... Grim's going to do the follow-up. This is Wild Card Wednesday. We're going to pull an extra card for the group.
Is there a topic associated to Wild Card Wednesday today?
Well, we have homework about what is our heaven on earth going to look like. What does it...
Right.
How do you define? If you could define your heaven on earth, what would it look like? A big house with all the grandkids living there? A big house with nobody living there? A farm in the city? On the planet where Avatar takes place? What is your... Well, I guess it's not really heaven on earth.
Well, it is, because if you think about it...
What is it that you would create for yourself?
Right now, we are in such a toxic soup of emotional distress as a global society.
Oh, yeah,
It's horrific.
We're ass over tea kettle, as Gran would say.
Yeah, ass over tea kettle. We have really managed to allow ourselves to be stirred up into an emotional froth.
We are. Very true.
By focusing on what is your version of heaven, of creating your heaven on earth, each and every one of us then becomes responsible for that slice of heaven.
Right.
But none of us are going to envision their heaven as being something toxic and nasty and rude.
Well, you know what though? Like, here's the thing. What I've learned working with people that are crossing over,
Right.
and some of the death walking classes that I've taken, of course, I've not experienced death that I remember myself, not the moment of death. From my past lives, I remember a few right up close to, but in this lifetime, I have not had, well, I've had a few weird experiences. I have had what am I saying?
Say you've been one defibrillator away from crossing over.
I have had a few crosses with death, and I guess I need to stop shying away from admitting that. But
Heaven.
what I learned in my classes that I took, my courses on death walking, is, and I believe this is true, I believe this is very true, that our next step, the next realm after we leave this physical body, is what we believe it's going to be. So if there's a person in your life that is always grumpy and kind of a sourpuss, and when you talk to them about, you know, something religious, they say, oh, I'm going to hell anyways, it doesn't matter. Right? That kind of person, if they don't do their shadow work, if they don't get themselves out of the doldrums, if they don't, shift their perspective to a higher vibrational frequency, what they create when they cross over is exactly what they were expecting. And that's why I say, I'm not saying we're all going to cross over tomorrow or anything, but I'm saying, what is your heaven on earth? What if you could right now snap your fingers, or like, Samantha on Bewitched, what would you create for yourself? What would you snap into existence? Stop worrying about your 5-year plan. Stop worrying about leaving the city. Stop worrying about all the other people and animals that are relying on you. Think about right now, what would you paint in your world?
You're not talking about something as simple as a goal, achieving a level of success in business, or you're talking if you could envision what heaven is, and you don't have to wait to cross over to get it.
Because it's here already.
It's here already.
Right.
What is it?
Right.
None of the superficial stuff.
Right.
None of the. It's what is your heaven.
Right.
Your nirvana.
What is your heaven on earth? That is your homework. And I've been stressing over for a while now. I've been stressing over 420-ish tea and tarot, because you've heard me say a number of times now that we just keep doing the same old thing. Well, I have felt that way for a while, and I felt in some ways that I've been letting you folks down. Not Grim, of course. I still feel like our messages are valid, but I felt like they've been kind of stale or stagnant for a minute. We've been kind of saying the same thing for a while, maybe in different packaging and whatnot. And of course, I don't want to get into that right now either, because I've already talked about getting stuck in the same old. But I think I'm going to start, and hopefully with Grim's approval, start taking this homework at 420-ish Tarot a little more seriously. I want you to spend some time over the next couple days thinking about right now on heaven, or on earth, if you could create your version of perfect, what would it include? Would it be, surrounded by your art, with a studio as part of your home? Think beyond that. When you step out of your studio, when you open that French door, what do you see out there? Does it open onto a balcony in Paris, or does it open onto a beautiful courtyard, or just a beautiful woodsy setting? What do you see? Take some time to explore what it is that would be your heaven on earth. And don't worry about the finances. Don't worry about the 5-year plans. Don't worry about the what ifs and the logical parts. Put those things aside right now. Let your magical side do a little dreaming.
The universe is infinite. And it's also the source of all of creation. Everything that has been created is in existence now and will be brought into existence into the future. Spiritualists, people, witches, people connected to the divine, however you want to explain it or describe it, have always had one thing in their messaging that's very much core to who we are. And that is if energy can be manipulated, we do it all the time. Look at our everyday life.
Every time we take a breath.
Every time we take a breath. If energy can be manipulated, why can't we turn it into something that benefits the whole, the collective, the community?
That's true, but I don't want to take it in that direction.
No,
yet.
that's the end result of what you're saying, though, is define your heaven on earth. If everybody in the world does that and starts focusing on that, you nudge the needle.
Yeah, but not everybody is looking for community.
No,
not even everybody that follows
to me,
us.
Community
here
is the entire world. When I say it in that sense.
But you're going a little beyond where I was headed with this.
You're right.
I love you.
You're right.
I wanted one. Don't muddy our water. He made rose water today, and it's not exactly pink like we were expecting. But I think it's because we didn't follow our. We did it kind of from memory, and we're allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah, this is our first batch.
In a long, I mean, like 25 years since I've made. No, we made rose water in Port Townsend. We would pick wild roses and.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, yeah, that was wild roses. These are.
Here's a card.
Oh, I get to think.
Drum roll,
What's your
please.
definition of heaven?
This is the wild card, Wednesday card. Ooh, the Ace of Cups. Beautiful card. Look at that one. The Ace of Cups. You've got support from the ancestors and the representation of a dragonfly. The choice is yours. You know, this cup is standing there very present and strong right in the middle of that card. And what does that tell us? That cup, we can charge it however we want. What, honey?
Pink lotus.
Yes, there's pink lotus in there. I didn't notice. Grimmer did. The pink lotus blossom. Awesome.
New deck.
Yeah, it's a new deck, and it's a new deck, and there's pink lotus. I love it. Thank you for seeing that. But back to the cup. We are able to take what we are dreaming about, take what we are manifesting, our heaven on earth, and we can charge. My phone just, hold on. Help, Grim.
Here, I'll hold it.
Okay.
Right there. You got to do your thing.
I don't know
now.
where I'm at. There we are. Phone dropped. Sorry about that. Hope that wasn't anything. Okay. But this card is, this cup, here it is. It's charged. It's charging. We are able to charge it with our intention. Then we have two choices, right? As we always do with the Suit of Cups. We can either let it fill and be a positive thing, or we can dump it over and be done with it. We can look at it as glass half full, or we can look at it like we'll never get to the top, so it's not worth the effort. Which way are you going to go with this dream? Are you going to take my homework challenge and think about this by Friday? I'm not asking you to write it down or even share it with anybody.
I think that should be a challenge that gets done in the Purple Door. In a comment.
Oh.
What's your definition of heaven on earth? Let's make that a topic.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I'll instigate that.
All right. That sounds perfect. And I hope that you all remember, I've been seeing a lot of folks joining in on Pause for Peace again. Remember, don't give your own energy away, because you don't have energy to spare necessarily. You just take what you need. We don't keep energy on hold. Well, we do in the form our body does keep. Our body does keep what is
Reserves.
that? Reserves, right?
Yes.
Energy reserves on the physical. But on the energy body level, we basically kind of take what we need and then we share, because it's always right there. We don't want stagnant, stale energy anyways. So why not, intentionally?
Yeah, and trying to shove more water into a saturated sponge doesn't really make much
That's
sense.
very true as well. So, phooey, I don't remember where I was headed with that. Oh, well, it
Let it
doesn't matter.
flow.
Let it flow, let it flow. But pause for peace. Please take some time out, 9 p.m. your time, wherever you live. And, Grimmer, are you shaking us around here?
I know. Your phone's heavy.
Oh. Anyways, I can't remember. Damn it, there's too many distractions for me.
Pause for peace.
Time for me to say stay magical. But yes, pause for peace, 9 p.m. Susan and Christy have diligently been sharing that. Grammar. Diligently been sharing that, and I've been watching people interact more and more, and it's just lovely when we do. Let's try to get that out there into the world so that more pagans join us, that more folks understand that what we're doing is trying to get a positive flow going.
Share that Pause for Peace daily post on your personal walls or in other witchy groups that you belong to. You can share it from the Gussie and Grimm page. You can download it yourself and post it wherever. But let's make Pause for Peace go viral.
That would be lovely. Also, Susan reminded us that tomorrow's a new moon. I know I've been talking to people that I've been giving readings to all week about, doing some new moon magical work, because it's a very potent time. So keep that in mind for tomorrow. And don't forget, on the 28th of this month, we're going to try. That's our intention, right, Grimmer? Mm-hmm. Our intention is to go live for our Purple Door Witch Wave. And that happens at 9 p.m. Eastern on the 28th of this month. And we will be doing a meditation and a little ritual work. Sometimes we do some spell work, and if we do decide to do that, we'll let you know in advance if you need to bring some materials with you. But always, 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 always make sure you bring something to write with and a pencil and paper, because I might just assign you some homework. And after all, why the hell not, right? Let's learn. Let's learn about ourselves.
I'm already designing my homework.
I know
my problem with my Heaven on Earth thing is I can't be location specific.
We're going to have purple doors all over the place, so it doesn't need to be.
Okay, because my Heaven on Earth is big.
Your Heaven on Earth is big.
Is big.
Well, and I love that. But also, let yourself dream it. What would it look like for you? If right now you opened the door like Dorothy and stepped into the land of Oz, what would you want that next step to look like? What would it be for you? And again, I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not saying we're all, crossing over tomorrow or anything, knock on wood. But I am saying, let's paint that picture for ourselves. And let's remember that some of it right now we can achieve. It might not be exactly like we envision it right away. We do have to allow Spirit to conduct things as it will. There's divine timing involved.
Yeah, let the clay never fully dry.
Never let the clay fully dry. Right. Always be willing and able to remodel if you need to. And so, give that some thought, every witch. I will do my best, and I plan on seeing you on Friday. That's our intention. Mm-hmm. And it would be here at 420-ish Tarot with Grimm and I. I'll have my tea. I'll have my Grimm. And hopefully you'll have a couple of answers if you feel like sharing. It wouldn't hurt to write it in your grimoire if you have one started, or your Book of Shadows, whatever you call it, or a diary. Or hell, why not start tonight? Get yourself a notepad and just, write something down, or write it in your notes on your phone. There are ways around it, my friends. Love you all. Stay magical.